Alright guys, welcome back to another news video. Um, Seems like the other ones did pretty good. I got a webcam now, so this is me. Nice to meet you guys. Hi. I'm Rand, if you want to call me that. But yeah, so we're going to kind of dive into it. I got a few different articles here to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to do them all. A few of them I found interesting. A couple articles of news that we had over the week. Of course, I'm sure you guys have already seen this, the Ubisoft allegation type things, but we're going to kind of look into it a little bit more. So let's get started and just kind of get my opinion on it. Not that my opinion means a whole lot, but I just kind of like to get my thoughts out there. And if you agree, you agree. If you don't, you don't. Let me know in the comments. You know, I'm always up for a discussion about these things. So let's see what we got here. So a recent video reporting detailing alleged mental and physical abuse at an external studio. So it's basically not a studio that is directly like Ubisoft, but it is one that looks like it worked on Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this is just kind of a critique of the whole like gaming industry. I remember this seems to be like a common thing now in gaming studios where like I remember the thing with Blizzard, that whole debacle, and now it's kind of got swept under the rug. And then of course at the end of it they come around with having these policies now and a lot of like curtailing to certain things so they don't get slapped on the wrist again. They always do this type of shit. It's always like, oh, we get in trouble for something. Now what do we got to do to get good boy brownie points so we don't get, gone after again? Or how do we repair our, damaged brand? It's just kind of on point for these guys. So I'm sure Ubisoft, I don't feel like it matters. Ubisoft is already so damaged in just the gaming community's eyes that it doesn't really matter at this point what they do. They're just going to get shit on constantly. Like even if Assassin's Creed comes out and it's fucking just a stellar game, polished, which from looking at the recent stuff, like I was watching an Asmongold video when he was going into it, like watching the trailers for it and the new showcase they did, it just is very telling about, because like he was right, they did a ton of cuts. They didn't show like smooth consistent gameplay. There's something there that they don't want to show you. I know that for the sake of, oh, we wanted to cut it up and show you guys, just basic things like them jumping and running. Like, come on now. If that's your flagship for a game, is that your characters can actually run and move correctly? Bro, that's crazy, especially from an Assassin's Creed game. But I digress. We're getting out of the point. I went on a rant like I normally do, so sorry. Okay. Unfortunately, abuse in the video game industry is not a new topic, obviously, with reports of harassment and physical mental abuse. Now, this is interesting because I can understand where people are coming from, but also what is like actual abuse nowadays, because even just the slightest little thing, someone in your like where you work can take it to that level. Like even if it's not even if it's just like harmless fun, things like that, people get so slighted so easily that they'll take it to that level. Like I've seen it happen where I work. I'm not going to tell you where I fucking work, but I've seen it happen where people are just joking around. It's nothing serious. It's all harmless, and someone takes it to the umpteenth level to where it becomes something when it shouldn't have been. When it could have just been solved by just a simple, hey, I didn't like that. Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. And then it's over, right? This comes from a lack of people speaking to each other. I'm not saying this isn't, because if it is really what it is, obviously, right? But there are certain things that get taken to the next level when it could have been just solved through conversation and communicating like people should, which we lack nowadays. But yeah, I'm not saying that this is, because who knows what this is. I have no idea, right? So reports and claims have risen of things like bullying, lead game. Now, I did see a lot of things about certain directors in here. I don't remember who they were, but they look like they got removed previously for doing sketchy shit, and now they're in like Tencent and they're working for these guys. So they left, they got scooped up, and they're doing the same shit over there. So there's whispers of it. So it could have been, these guys could just be pieces of shit, which is, bound to happen, obviously. Another report has appeared. Rather than there being abuse with Ubisoft directly, the video from this YouTube channel kind of dives into it. If you guys want to find that, the video, you guys can watch it. I kind of watched it for a little bit. I'm not going to spend 45 minutes watching a video when I'm, at least not right now. At some point, I would probably dive into it more, but we're just kind of having a general conversation about the topic of this. It doesn't mean that, if you guys want to watch it, go find that video. But I'm just kind of having a general conversation about these things and giving my opinion on it. So, has taken a deep dive into the situation involving an external support studio. It alleges that the commissioner of the game development team in Indonesia, studio Brandoville, was extraordinarily toxic and abusive towards their working there. The commissioner, Kwan Cherry Lai, notably the wife of the CEO of Brandoville, reportedly put employee Krista Sidney through mental and physical abuse, forced religious worship, and severe sleep deprivation over the course of 4 days. That's pretty wild. If that's true, that means that lady's a fucking psychopath, or a sociopath, whatever you want to call it. And even forced Sidney to physically harm herself while filming it. Damn. Okay, that's pretty fucked. Ubisoft has issued a response to Eurogamer regarding it, stating that the company is deeply disturbed. Of course you are. You're deeply disturbed. You're disturbed by fucking everything, but you don't do anything to fix it. So, about the report and condemns abuse of any kind. Brandoville. I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of Brandoville. So, more workers at the studio have come forward with similar allegations, including Kwan Cherry Lai. Wait, isn't that the person that we just talked about? Taking away parts of their salaries. Oh, okay. Including Kwan Cherry Lai, taking away parts of their salary to help with their spending, or overworking a pregnant employee. Oof. Who ended up giving birth prematurely. Damn, their child later passed away in a hospital. If that's true, that's fucking evil. Holy shit, man. Talk about toxic. So if these things are true, man, this should be like a death blow to these people. Of course, it's not going to be because they're going to get swept under the rug. But that's crazy. And that just shows you why games are becoming the way they are, because you should just have these toxic corpo people at the top pushing these, they could be aspiring developers, they could be people in the industry, and just working them to death for. And no wonder the quality of games has gone down so much, and the the ideas in games have gone down so much, because if this is just one example, who knows what's going on in other companies that we just don't even know of. If it's just a toxic work environment, how are you going to be prosperous and want to work there? Just go in there and kind of grind, and that's it, Brandoville Studio. Brandoville was established in 2018 with headquarters in Indonesia and shut down in August 2024. Okay, so the studio is shut down now. Interesting. Reports of abuse have apparently gone back as far as 2019. During the years, the studio reportedly assisted game developers with major releases, Age of Empires 4 and the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows. So that doesn't bode well for the game even more, but they're working on it. We'll see. I doubt it. Since then, these claims have begun to be investigated in Indonesia, and the police are reportedly looking to question Kwan Cherry Lai. However, People Make Games notes that she has since claimed to be in Hong Kong, so it remains to be seen. Wait, so this is a female? Cherry Lai is a fucking lady, and she's, damn, what a psycho. That's crazy. Whether Sydney and the others who have allegedly been subject to abuse will find justice is unknown. In both the U.S. and elsewhere, reports of poor working conditions, abuse, and sexual harassment, of course. It's clear that it needs to be more done to protect employees, whether they're being abused internally or externally. Yeah. Or death threats from the internet. I mean, I always hear fucking death threats, man. That's wild. But this is why I don't buy their games. Yeah, so that's pretty wild, but that just speaks to the industry as a whole. It's just circling the fucking drain right now, It's like rotten to the core type of thing. And this isn't speaking for all companies, but it just seems to be a fucking theme in game companies, and just people taking advantage of people and abusing people. I wouldn't want to work in a game studio. It just doesn't seem like it's great, from hearing about the stuff from what was that fucking lady working on maybe it was on Dragon Age Velgard, the professor lady that was forcing people to call her Professor whatever, like Professor Brown. And if they didn't, she would harass them and make their lives miserable. That's just fucking wild. No wonder that game turned out to be even worse than it was projected to be. It's crazy when you have these egomaniacal fucks at the helm. You don't have a good leader leading you, you're just fucking going downhill. It just is going to suck for you, right? So, all right, there's that one. So this one's pretty cool, which makes sense, right? So I'm going to kind of wrap these two together. So you got Marvel Rivals reaches new player milestone with Season 1. Surpassing 560,000 concurrent players. That's wild, man. That's why these people are shitting their pants at this game, and they're attacking it because it's fucking killing it. Of course, it's a Chinese company, but hey, that's what happens when the Western companies don't provide for people. Chinese come in and they sweep it up, and they're cranking out. They're doing a good job, right? I can't even knock them. So it reached that milestone, but also, as you can see in this other one, Marvel Rivals is nominated for a prestigious reward. So we'll do this one first, then we'll look at the other one. So Marvel Rivals took to social media. They're basically hamming it up. Nominated for the Online Game of the Year for the DICE Awards for 2025. So I'm pretty sure if the game keeps cooking for a long time and it's doing well, you know, I'm sure it'll win a ton of rewards. Or if it doesn't, I think it's going to make such an impact if it keeps going and it's hot for pretty much the entire year that there's no way they can ignore it. But since it is a Eastern Chinese developer, they're going to try to shit on it, depending upon how they do it, because that's just what the people do. This will be the 28th anniversary of the prestigious awards show. So I've never heard of this DICE Awards. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pay that much attention to this stuff. On the 13th, Marvel Rivals NetEase released season 1, which has a lot of new hero shooter. It's basically just talking about what they've been doing. Nothing real cool in here. But you can see this, you know. We're honored and absolutely thrilled. A huge thank you to all rivals. So it's just showing they're getting. So they got Black Ops in there. They got Diablo. That's ugh. They got Helldivers, of course, Marvel Rivals, and Warhammer. So we got some good ones. These ones are kind of fucking shit right now, to be honest. Diablo's just, I don't get why this is on here. Call of Duty is just continuing to lose players. Diablo was, I'm going to be honest, it was never really good. It, like when it first comes out, obviously, you know, you're going to love it because it's new to you, but just not very good. Helldivers was awesome when it came out. It's still fun, but it's like, I don't know, how many times can we forgive a fucking, you know, developer and like studio just trying to do stupid shit, and it's obvious what they were trying to do. So, you know, nerfing shit so that make sure people buy the new things. Marvel Rivals sits on there, and Warhammer for sure. Space Marine 2, that game's fucking awesome. It's kind of running out of content right now, but for what it is, it's awesome. So I can't knock that. Popular hero shooter has a lot to celebrate recently. More fans still flocking to the game. Some believe the season 2 will inspire Vampire Hunter Blade, and then the main season's antagonist being Dracula. That'll be pretty sweet. Then you got a few of the new skins coming out. Ideas. Looking pretty sweet. Ooh, I kind of like that Wolverine. So, that's that one. Hold on to the next one. So, reaches new milestone of players. So, they hit 560,000. That's pretty crazy. Let's see what else they got. In addition, new characters, NetEase. So, new maps. They got a few new maps coming out. A few new characters coming out. I think they got 3 new maps coming out. And then I know I saw that a PvE leak was out. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Who knows what's going to happen. But that'd be kind of interesting to get a whole new batch of people in there. Look at that right there. That's crazy. Ton of people playing it. That basically just means that in the time that they lose people, basically the players that they're losing, they're gaining back. And people are staying with the game, which is wild. So for every one player they're losing, that they're gaining one back. It's almost like influx. So it's like, oh man, I'm done playing this. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not playing Marvel Rivals that much. I played it maybe 2 days ago with my boys, and I know my buddies were playing it tonight, and they wanted me to jump on for the new season, but maybe I'll play tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I get burnt out because I played Overwatch. I played so many things for so long. I kind of get burnt out playing the same thing over and over again. And I got my backlog is fucking crazy full of games. Like if you could see my shelf over there, I have so many like PS1, PS2 games that I want to play that I've never played before. And I mean, I'm gonna put them on the channel too. Like when I do play them, specific games that I haven't really played that are brand new to me. So it'll be pretty fun. So it's pretty much just hamming it up, telling us how, you know, 20 million players have played the game, which is wild too. That's not basically just hamming up Marvel Rivals. It's doing awesome. Now, we'll talk about this guy. This one, God, I can't tell you how disappointing this is to have Square Enix do this type of shit. Because all this is going to end up doing is hurting Square Enix. And it's hurting their image and showing that they're like very fragile towards criticism and they're just taking that step in a direction that we don't want to see, towards like authoritarianism, towards like not listening to the consumer base. That's kind of what this is. So Square Enix creates a new policy to protect employees from fans. To protect them from fans. That's crazy, right? They're making games for us, but they don't want to listen to us when we give them criticism. Now I understand to the degree, the next level, right? You don't need to be stalking these people, giving these, hurting these people, following these people, doing that type of stuff. But on social media, you can say whatever the fuck you want to them, right? On YouTube videos, you can speak your mind as long as it's within TOS, those type of things. But it's like, to make it viable and policy within the company to literally like sue you for having an opinion on them and their people is fucking crazy to put into policy in a company. It's wild. So we'll read this and I'll kind of show you guys, right? So Square Enix has announced a new anti-harassment policy that aims to protect its employees and partners. Square Enix has stipulated what constitutes harassment in its book and has laid out what it will do in the event that it occurs, right? In this day and age of interconnectivity via the internet, threats and harassments against members of the gaming industry have become unfortunately common. So this is funny. I don't know if these are real threats or harassments or just criticism. You can't tell anymore because they've combined them together to where you can't tell what's real threats. It's like when somebody calls you racist now. You're like, oh, okay, cool, man. That's my badge of honor, because they just use it. It doesn't have any meaning anymore. It's kind of the same thing with this. It's like when someone cries wolf so many times, you can't tell what's real anymore. So it's like, it's hard for me to have pity and sympathy for these guys when they just use these buzzwords and these things as a cudgel to basically beat the gamer and shield themselves from any type of criticism. So that's just kind of how I feel about these type of things. Is it real? Duh. I'm not trying to take away from that. I'm sure there are crazy fucks out there who do that shit. But for the majority, these types of things, threat and harassment, okay. It's just kind of to shield yourself from criticism. The behavior is far limited to Square Enix, which some notable examples include death threats against actress portraying Abby in The Last of Us, and that's kind of crazy. And Nintendo being forced to cancel a live event due to threats of violence from a so-called Splatoon fan. Alright, like if those things, sure, those are like valid. If you're sending death threats to fucking Abby, The Last of Us, shit game, by the way. But, dude, Last of Us 1, oh my god, amazing. Last of Us 2, I ain't playing that shit, and I won't play that shit. Sorry. Yeah, but this one from a Splatoon fan, kind of crazy, buddy. Get some help. Now Square Enix has taken steps to protect its people from similar actions, okay? In a policy laid out on the Square Enix website, the game developer has taken a stance against those who would harass its employees and partners, including everyone from support staff members to high-up corporate fucking corpo fucks. The policy states that while Square Enix wants feedback from its fans and customers, customer harassment is unacceptable, and it has laid out exactly what constitutes harassment in its book and how it will react to such encounters. Square Enix considers harassments to be things like threats of violence, defamation, obstruction of business, trespassing, and so on. The document lays out exactly what Square Enix considers to be out of bounds for normal customer feedback. In the event that such behavior is encountered, Square Enix reserves the right to deny services to customers. And in cases of malicious intent, the company may choose to protect its staff by pursuing legal action. Okay, this is fucking bullshit right here. Square Enix reserves the right to deny services to said customers. That is crazy. Because you know how I see this just going so bad for Square Enix, right? Let's say, I don't know, for example, like I used Asmongold earlier, he starts playing one of the Square Enix games. He starts criticizing, I heard in the new Final Fantasy 14, there's like a trans character that just gets way too much screen time, and it's made it about them. I haven't played the new Dawn Trail. I think I played up to Endwalker, but I haven't played the new one. There's so many games, and I can't play just fucking 50 games. I got to work for a living too, so it's not like I could just play games all day. But I would love to play it. because Final Fantasy, I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy. Matter of fact, I got a ton of Final Fantasies over there. You know, I grew up with Final Fantasy, but so this hurts me too, because I'm a big fan of Square Enix. Just seeing them do this type of shit, just like, oh man, I hate it. You know, I played Final Fantasy 11 for years with all my boys, fishing for fucking moat carp, just doing stupid shit like that, just playing that game. That game was so hard, but it was so fun. There was like mystery and cool shit in the game, right? But yeah, so I can see like one of the big YouTubers playing this, and he says something, and all of a sudden he gets banned from the game, and all of his viewers see that just because he criticized something and Square Enix didn't like it, and all of a sudden now those millions of people watching, how are they going to react to that? They're going to be like, oh yeah, that was justified. No, absolutely not. They're going to see that and they're going to fucking boycott and raise fucking hell because their favorite YouTuber said something critical about a game that Square Enix made, and now Square Enix is getting fucking crushed by the weight of it. The PR is just terrible. I don't know how in the world they think this is a good idea to do ever. It makes no fucking sense. This is like corpo just dumb shit. You know, like every time, like I don't know where you guys work, but I assume you work maybe in some company. You know, you work at Walmart, you work at Home Depot, you work somewhere. Like, you know, everybody works around here. So you always have that corporate goofball up top making dumbass decisions because he's not on the floor. You know, he's not out there with you guys doing anything, and he makes the dumbass decision. So now you got to fix something. Turns out terrible because they're not down there understanding anything. You know, it's the same type of thing here, to where the people up above are making stupid things to try to protect themselves, to virtue signal that they're good people. You see this? We're going to protect our employees. More like they're going to protect the brand and scare off weak-hearted people from criticizing, from like the fear of, oh my God, I can lose access to this, blah, blah, blah. They can sue me. This is basically a scare tactic. And it makes them look like they are scared. They're scared of any criticism, which means they're doing something wrong. And they know they're doing something wrong. It's like projection, right? We're going to get ahead of this, and it shows that they're scared of something, right? So that's how I view it. It's just kind of looking at it from a different angle than maybe somebody else would. So, but that's crazy. Like, if they banned me from being critical and I couldn't get on Steam and play the new Final Fantasy because they blocked my IP or they blocked my account, bro, I would raise hell. That's crazy. That's authoritarian. That's like censorship of ideas. It's wild. That's fucking L move, Square Enix. Fucking stupid. Don't do that. You're just gonna get crushed by the gamers. These people don't learn from all these things that have been happening. Like the past year, you think these companies would have been like, man, we want to make money. Let's listen to the gamer. Let's do what we're supposed to do. Let's stop doing this dumb shit. But they just don't ever learn, right? So, well, what happens is they're going to fucking do something stupid and it's going to blow up in their face. And then they're going to blame the gamer. Oh, people, gamers are mean. No, gamers are your main fucking source of income. So make games for them. How about that? It's that simple. Yeah. Oh, God. This is going to go into it. Anti-harassment policy. So we got harassment, acts of violence, violent behavior. See, this is interesting because all these things we already have laws for, at least in the United States and in most countries. They have laws for. You don't need to make a policy for it because we have something called the justice system, and you know we have laws in our countries that people have to follow. So you don't need to make a policy of it in your company. It's unnecessary, and it's just showing their like lack of understanding of how things work. It's crazy. Defamation, slander, persistent inquiries, persistent inquiries. The visits thing, I kind of understand. You're on their property, but persistent inquiries. Sorry, you're bugging us too much. We're going to sue you. That's fucking crazy. Trespass, duh. Of course, trespassing. That's why we have laws for trespassing. Unlawful restraint, including via what the fuck, dude? Unlawful restraint, including via telephone calls and online inquiries. Via telephone calls. Stop fucking calling me, man. How about you just block the fucking person trying to call you? Jesus. Discriminatory speech and conduct regarding race. So this one is like not like it doesn't exist in the world. You know, speech you can never, you can't police speech. It's not a thing. That's why we have the freedom of speech to say what we want. Discriminatory speech. It's interesting. Like, these people are showing their true colors here. You know, it's very anti-American what they're doing. Coming from a Japanese company? What can I say? You know, I don't know. Whatever. Infringement of privacy by taking pictures and video. Well, that one depends. Like, if you're on public property, they can record you all you want. If, you know, you're on private property, obviously it's a little different, but this one's up for debate here. I mean, obviously you don't want to be recorded, but if you're in public, what the fuck can you do? It's, you know, sexual harassment. Well, dude, we got laws for this. Sexual harassment, stalking, repeated stalking behavior, obviously. Undue demand. Unreasonable changes or exchange of product or request for monetary compensation. Unreasonable changes or exchange. What the fuck does that even mean? Unreasonable changes or exchange of product or request of monetary compensation. Something must have happened to make this specifically be in here. I gotta look into that, because what the fuck? This one is like, I don't know. That's weird. Unreasonable response or request for... Holy shit, man. This is crazy. Unreasonable response or request for an apology, including face-to-face response or request for an apology specifying the position of our employee and partners. What the fuck is this? This is crazy. You see how this is a giant L for these people? It's showing that they're fucking babies. Like, they are weak people. It's fucking wild. Like, unreasonable response or request for an apology. We'll sue you for making us apologize to you. How dare you? How dare you demand an apology? Man. Excessive requests for the provision of products and services exceeding socially accepted norms? What the fuck, dude? I don't even know, dude. This shit has to, like, live somewhere. Something happened to where they made these things. I don't get these. Undue demand. Reasonable and excessive demands for punishment of our employees. I guess. Yeah, do something to one of your fucking employees because they fucked up. I don't know. Unfortunately, action like this has likely become a necessity for developers like Square Enix. Some gamers have sent angry and threatening messages to a variety of members of the game development industry, including voice actors and performers. In recent time, this has included the voice actor for Wu Klamat in Final Fantasy XIV Dawn. Oh, this is what I was talking about, yeah. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, Senna Breyer, who received extreme backlash when transphobic netizens took offense at Breyer's gender identity. However, going a few years back, it was revealed that Square Enix had received multiple death threats due to its staff in 2018, and one such death threat over Square Enix gacha mechanics led to an arrest in 2019. Dude, people are just fucking crazy, man. Square Enix also had to cancel a tournament back in 2019 due to similar threats to the aforementioned one Nintendo's recently faced. So some of these are valid, obviously. A lot of these are valid, you know, but those are one-offs where you get the law enforcement involved, right? These are things that are real when we have laws in real life. Like, this one I can understand, like, because from what I heard, like the gender identity thing, the Wu Klamat person in Final Fantasy, they made the story all about this person. You know, it takes away from you, who's the hero of light, you know, and it makes this person seem like they're super more important than you when you're the main character. Which, if you're playing a fantasy game, I get it. You want to be the main character. You've been the main character forever, and now you take a backseat, not only to a new character, but also kind of seems fishy to a trans character, which is the hot button right now. No matter what you feel about trans people, if you believe it or not, it's the hot button right now. So to even put that in there is just risky. And to do that, these companies that put these things in here, to me, it makes me feel like they're allergic to money. But it's kind of like from like 40K, or even just in real life, they are like They're zealots. They're like heretics. They don't care about the money. It's all about pushing the message and the ideology out there, no matter what the cost. Because to me, I'm like, how can these companies be so stupid and irresponsible and keep doing these things without realizing that they're fucking hemorrhaging money out, right? So to me, I'm like, they have zealots, they have heretics in their ranks, or maybe they're higher ups that don't care. They want to see it burn. It's like, push the ideas that we want out, no matter what the cost, no matter what the failure. Because that's the only like logical way that I can understand these companies putting this stuff in there, knowing it's such a hot topic. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? We talked about a lot of different things here. I got one more on here, but I don't think I'm going to do it. It's just, okay, we'll do it real quick. So Lolipop Chainsaw. I don't know if you guys played this. It came out a long time ago. It's getting 200,000 in sales. This game, if you guys have never played that, is fucking awesome. You guys should play it. So Lolipop Chainsaw, Repop. I haven't played this one myself. I played the old one, but it came from, the developer who made No More Heroes, which is also awesome. Dude, the art style on that, it's fucking amazing, right? So they did a re-release on this guy, Lolipop Chainsaw. It's got the blonde in here. I don't remember her fucking name. It's been a long time. Juliet. Yeah, that's right. So, new one came out. We'll just do this real quick. 200,000 copies. It'll be available. If you guys have never played this, you guys should jump into that game. It's fucking awesome. So, they got a lot of good games on their neck, but it's a remaster, so it looks a lot better. As you can see, the graphics kind of upgraded a little bit here. A lot of cool things in it. You're just basically fighting undead. It's got kind of like a music theme to it, so it's pretty sick. You guys should play it. But yeah, that's kind of the last one. I didn't want to be on too long. This is going on a little bit longer already. But yeah, I really want to talk about was the Square Enix one. So you guys kind of got my opinions. What are you guys' thoughts and opinions? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys like these little news rants that I put out. I kind of want to play some old school games. I really want to get on some old PS1, PS2 games. So if you guys want to, I got a big old collection. So if you guys give me a few games you guys want to see, we'll play them. And I'll put them on the channel. We'll just kind of do like a let's play of them. I know I got this one that I never played. It's called Genji. And it's for the PS2. I've never played it. I saw it out at like my local game store for like $5. And I was like, I remember seeing it when I was little, but I never played it. So I kind of want to jump into that one. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad, but it's something that I want to play. So maybe I'll just toss it on the channel. But other than that, if you guys like this type of content where we go over news, just give me a like. I'll always comment and subscribe if you like it. All right. And it's my first time on my face, so hopefully I'm not looking too bad. I got a big old beard and it's cold as shit out here. So living where I'm at, I got the heater going, I got the beanie on, I got the hoodie on because it's cold as hell. So I think it's like 18 degrees outside. So, but other than that, like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.